do. I haven't coughed all day and then I go live and then I might need to turn the heating off. It's a bit warmer. It was cold a minute ago, now I'm really warm. I'll just go and turn it off. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the broadcast. So I do these broadcasts every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. But I won't be here this Sunday. Thursday at 8:30. If you are local, I'm doing talks in Nottingham on Sunday, 2 till 5. So if you are local, you can come along to the talks. Deeper. But yeah, I won't be doing the broadcast on Sunday. So to ask questions this evening, you have to friend me on Skype and send questions through Skype. And my Skype ID is my name, Rebekah Maroon. Through Skype. That's it. So, what's this talk all about? Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny that these talks happen. It's so funny. Like I don't talk about non-duality at all. I don't talk about it to family or friends or anything. So on a Thursday or a Sunday, it's like, oh, I'm talking about non-duality. It's really this is like my heart. It's my heart. My being is this message. My being, my very existence, that very being, this beingness. And so I'm just expressing that beingness in these talks. It's just this beingness gets to express its beingness, gets to point to its beingness. I go to lots of home education meetups and things with other mums and stuff, and it's the conversations around, you know, society, the system, the schooling system, and how bad it is, and how not bad, but how it's not necessarily the best way to raise kids, and conversations around, you know, different things you can do with home ed, and just about kids and stuff, and about other stuff as well. But so it's not about talking about, you know, normal stuff really. A lot of mums like, oh God, I'm so tired. Like, I know. So it's that kind of stuff. And then on Thursday I get to do this, share this beauty. Talking about, what I'm talking about is this. The beingness is what this is. It really is like the open secret. It's like, it's so open, it's so this, but it's like not spoken about. It's like the secret. The freedom you long for is your very being. The essence of this, the nature of this, is freedom, is love, is fulfillment. But as a human, that contraction that happens from a young age, and the society that's based upon that contraction of separation, you've been told and happiness is found in time, in the future, in form. You think you're not happy and fulfilled because of the appearances, because this is here and that's going on and this is wrong, and so you're obsessed. There's an obsession about fixing the appearances, the forms, finding fulfillment and happiness and peace in sorting the forms out, creating some kind of perfect appearance in form. And then you'll feel happy and complete. This is an idea that you're going to feel complete and fulfilled when form is the way you want it. Positive, peaceful appearances showing up. So there's the obsession with that timeline of your fulfillment in future, in that timeline. Take what the speaker's saying into that timeline, again, for your fulfillment in time. You'll get there in time, you'll get there in the future. But what's being spoken about is this radical freedom that is. It is the very being of this, the very essence of this is freedom. This is freedom happening. And in that freedom, there's that appearance of a dream, the appearance of a dream playing out in thought, but also this energy that's living in that thought, claiming that thought. So I can't speak to that dream you and say, come home, this is it. I can't speak to that person. To that dream. This is being spoken. It's being spoken. Not for somebody to wake up. It's being spoken. And what can happen is that dream reality can begin to crumble, begin to dissipate, begin to dissolve or collapse. So nobody wakes up. That seeming you doesn't wake up. There isn't anybody to wake up, but that dream can stop playing. That dream that feels to be so real, so true and real. Stop. Can stop being a reality. This is the reality. This is the natural or the actual reality. Really, really obvious, really simple. But when that dream person's playing out, it isn't obvious and simple. Excuse me. Those thoughts create so much imagination, so many realities are created in thought. Something's addicted to claiming those, addicted to identifying with those, living in those. But this is like a popping of that balloon, popping of that dream. It can be really scary, and you can get really anger provoking. Because it's undermining those realities you've been living in and believing to be true, holding on to be true. It's taking all of them away, and then that energy is, because it's so used to being the one driving this, it's so used to being validated as someone, as an autonomous being, as existing, so used to having that position. But this is freedom. This is freedom. This mic keeps getting stuck on the table leg. Yeah, you're free to ask any questions. Hi, Ramona. Hi, Lee. Oh, I'm out of sync again, apparently. Yeah, I'm not sure if I am now. I can't tell. Without, yeah. It seems to be adjusting. Okay. Yeah, it can sometimes start off out of sync and then slowly get into sync. It's kind of, I don't know. It's to do with YouTube, I think. YouTube's streaming system. I don't know. Thank you for letting me know. Paul. I was thinking of chicken when I see your name, Paul. I think of chicken. I think Paul is French for chicken. Is also Polo, Polly, or something. Something Paul. Polo. Paul. Yeah. So even though this is perfect as it is, the character of Rebekah is still trying to make the appearance as good as possible, as possible, as good as possible. Yeah, that's a natural thing to try and what's an example of that? Like try and tidy your house, or try to you know, go in the bath, have a wash so you smell fresh, and you're still gonna yeah, I'm not sure what I don't know what you mean. Yeah, it's just normal. Like the human's just a human. The human's human. Like the human is just a human. It's still gonna move towards pleasure. It's still gonna prefer pleasant things. It's still gonna choose a pleasant or a better thing. Oh, I thought you were gonna write more to add to your question there, but no. Thank you. Thanks. So are you asking, like, is it still okay for me to want things and to try to acquire things? As a human, it's still going to want things and still going to try and acquire things and do things. It's a functioning. It's going to move towards doing things, and it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It functions like that. That's being human. This moving towards doing something or working towards achieving something. But it's definitely different to when the person's they're seeking, the person's doing these things, and it's hoping it's going to lead to its fulfillment. There's energy put into it in a sense of, this will lead to me being happy. This will lead to me getting that love, that freedom through the completion of XYZ, through the having or attaining of X, Y, Z, whatever it is. So it's different to when the person's still there seeking for something. This human will still do things and still prefer things and still want to experience things, but it's not anymore. Nothing can give this body fulfillment. Nothing can give, nothing can, like, there's pleasures, but that can't fulfill. That's a temporary pleasure. example, when that energy is there seeking, that temporary pleasure isn't seen that way. It's seen to be, it's felt and hoped to be a fulfillment. It's going to fulfill you. It never does, and it never can, but this is energy that needs that. It needs it to be fulfilled through this or thing, object, experience, or the person. I suppose though sometimes you'll be lazy or eat too much, etc., and that would be perfect too. Yeah. Sometimes the body's lazy, wants to sit around, or eats too much, overly full. So are you asking, is it okay to be lazy? Is it okay to eat too much? Feel free to call in, Lee. Or anybody else who wants to call in, you can call in. There's a feeling of lack of the person. There's an energy of needing to find a fulfillment in it. There's a feeling of lack that the person feels. Yeah, yeah. Missing something, it feels incomplete. And so it's looking and seeking for things to take that away, to feel complete, to feel whole. But just being aware of that becoming part of the awareness is like, wow, the body's, how the seeking's happening, what that body's seeking for, how it's seeking is amazing to be aware of how that particular dynamic seeks. So a lot of it you're just not aware of. There's not an awareness of it or a consciousness of it. So it's happening, the seeking's happening, but there's not that like knowing of that or awareness of that. Be aware of what that body seeks for, how it seeks. or even like that awareness of when there's suffering going on. We tend to sometimes, a lot of the time, not even be aware of that. It's like we cut off from it, and there's these thoughts about, oh, there's no one there to cover up the suffering underneath. We turn to to drugs, to TV, to food, to Facebook, to whatever it is. Yeah, stories just to cover up when there is that suffering there. And that isn't bad. I'm just trying to point out that to be aware of when there's suffering there is a great thing. I feel like shit. I feel bad. So I'm using this food to numb myself, to get high. I'm on Facebook seeking for love, seeking for whatever, high. Just that awareness of that. That registering of that. So it benefits. So it benefits the character to be aware of its seeking and to allow itself to feel suffering. Benefits the character. Don't know about it benefits the character, but it's just that, like, what's being spoken about is the end of that suffering, the end of that dream you who is seeking for love. And so pointing out like how the person seeking that love can be helpful, but not helpful to the person, not helpful to you, but it's just, it's like, it makes, it's like, think of an example. Say there's a problem with a saucepan, and to be aware, oh, there's holes there, I can see the holes there. That helps to see the problem is why it's not working is because there's holes. That's where the problem is. That's what's causing the problem or affecting the saucepan from being functional. Sorry, it's a really bad example, but it just helps to like, that's the way this body seeks. It doesn't really help for liberation, but it just helps just to be aware of that. It's like common sense. How is that body seeking? What's it doing? How is it seeking? How is it playing out in that body? Love, fulfillment. Does that then lead to liberation? Well, liberation already is the case. There already is liberation, but there's this seeker appearing that's given the impression that this isn't liberation, this isn't already freedom. So just pointing out how that seeking's may be happening is kind of an obvious thing. I don't know, it's just an obvious thing to like see how that body's seeking. I can't see it in terms of, is it helpful to you or is it helpful to a person? I can't see it in terms of that because there isn't somebody for it to be helpful for. It's just, this is a deconstructing of an illusion, that something that isn't real, but it seems to appear. But there isn't anybody, so it can't be helpful to anyone. It's just an exposing of that, it's functioning, how it's seeking, what it's looking for. Really bad at examples, I know. Kind of worked a bit. Oh, he's still typing. Okay, I'll stick with Lee until he finishes typing. Hi, Willander. Okay, I get it. It's the deconstruction of the illusion. I don't know. It just seems to happen. It just seems to happen. I can't say how it happens. I can't say by doing that, becoming aware of how you're seeking will. It's just what happens. It just happens. You become aware. The brain. You become aware of how that body seeks, how it's seeked, how it's seeked for love, what it usually seeks in. Does that make sense? How it usually seeks, or what it usually seeks, or how it usually seeks. For this body, brain thingy, very much seeked in people, in other humans. A very lonely experience being this body, very lonely. Not many people are around it, so it's been always thought I'd find it in people, I'd find it in friends, in lovers mostly, but I'd find it in people, in others. Thanks, Lee, for your question. Yolanda's commenting on your questions. She's saying, I haven't met you before, Yolanda, I don't think. Awareness of the seeking energy can be really painful or irritating. Yeah. 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 Really painful, really desperate. Desperation, seeking. Yeah. It needs something. It needs, like a drug. It needs it. It needs a fix. It needs. And then you're hearing this message that nothing will fulfill you. You won't find that fulfillment in the world, in things, in people. So it's very, very painful, very difficult. Where the seeking still playing out, but then there's a knowing intellectually that for you, whatever hit you get, it's not going to really do it. It will numb it a little bit, but it won't really take away that deep sense of separation. So it's really painful waking up. You've heard you can't get it in form. You can't get it in form. It's not in form. You won't find fulfillment in form. But then the seeking for form is still there. So it's really painful, really difficult, really hard waking up. But it happens. It just happens. This happens. And then there's a listening more and more to this message. Actually, but there's a hearing of this message. Beyond the story of, or the thoughts of, I can't get it, I can't get fulfillment in form. Beyond that, person's claimed this message, claimed it to be a personal thing. I can't get fulfillment, I can't get it. Beyond that, there's a hearing of it, that you are the fulfillment. What you are, what is happening is what you are, is this. There's just this. This is the love, this is the fulfillment, this is the freedom. That's the resonance. That's the resonance to this message. It's you. Not that person you, that story you, but you as in this. What is? All there is. I've met you before. You've written before. I didn't. August. I don't remember your name. Oh, I know you. Sorry, I'm really bad. I do know you. I think I know you. No, that's a different person. Indecision. Hi, Fame Property Manage. It's a funny name. Houses. So Paul is chicken and your house is property. I'm so happy listening. No idea. Felt a lot, just thisness, lightness. Had been a lot of heaviness and pain and running mind last week's. And now I am making a pancake with goat cheese and avocado and garlic. Strange combination. Oh, yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, but that's yeah, that's the essence of this happiness, freedom, joy, love. That doesn't mean not in the human way of seeing that. The human thinks that that's an emotion or a feeling, but emotions and feelings change. It's not that. The essence of this beyond emotions and feelings, the essence of this is joy and happiness and freedom. That doesn't mean the human's always going to be joyful and happy, but the essence of this is joyful and happy. The human can be whatever, it can change, the emotions change, the feelings change, but underlying that is freedom. It's just freedom with all these appearances appearing, the anger, whatever it is, it's all appearing in that joy. It is that joy, appearing as sadness, appearing as everything. There's nobody here. There's just everything appearing. I mean, how beautiful. Thank you. Chicken. Paul. Paulu. No. Yeah, yeah. Lee says that he really enjoyed the flavor of the energy of this whole talk about this. Yeah. It's what you are. It's this. I've met you in Belgium at Stans. Wilander. Oh, that was years ago then. I can't see your face very well on this. Let me just enlarge your picture. How do I do that? Okay. I don't remember your name. Blurry, your picture. I don't recognize you. I'm really good at faces, but I can't place your face. It's quite blurry. Oh, okay. Well, hi. Hi, Wilander. Oh, cool. When was I at Stans? 2017 now. I don't know, maybe. Where was I living? In Nottingham at the time. So went to Swansea in 2018. So 2000 or something then. Before I had kids. Wow. Time ago. Remember? No, maybe it was later than. Oh, I don't know. Definitely a few years ago, though. Definitely. Did I have kids then? I didn't have kids. No, I had kids. Yeah, I did have. I did have kids. Oh shit! I did have kids. Oh god. Oh, I don't know. Oh, funny. Okay, I'm gonna go. So yeah, I'm not here on Sunday. I'm doing talk. So I'm back on summer 2015. Yeah. Wow. 2 years ago. Feels like ages. That's funny. Okay. So thank you for the questions and for joining this stream. I'm back on Thursday at 8:30. So so I'll see you on Thursday. Bye. Bye.